I'd say about 70% of my classes, I end up making about $75 to $100 per hour, when my max has been about $120 per hour. Hey guys, Gibby here. Today I'm going to compare VIPKids with Outschool and give you my honest opinion on which one I believe is better and why. But first, I want to start with VIPKids. VIPKids is largely known for teaching English classes primarily to Chinese students. It is a great platform for beginners. It pays decently well, about $20 per hour, which is really good considering that classes aren't even for an entire hour. However, there are some drawbacks. Here's the first one. Hi, my name's Adam. What's your name? Good. No, that's just not me. I like to have some personality. I like to be a little bit funny. I like to have energy, obviously, but not that much energy. Which that's you, great. That's fantastic. Go and do that. That's fantastic for you. For me, I felt like I was being an actor every single time I got in front of the camera, and sure, I was able to help kids. It was wonderful to help them out, but I just didn't feel like it was me. So again, that's not really a plus or a minus. It just sort of depends on your personality. But for me, that was not a fit for me. Again, if it's a fit for you, then great. Go ahead and go off and do that. One of the nice things about VIPKids is you do get to schedule out your own classes. You have sort of these blackout periods. You get to say when you're available. You get to sign up essentially for as much as you want. Of course, it does depend on the availability of the students, which does vary significantly on the time of the year, as well as when school is and all these different other things, when other teachers are teaching. So you will have some weeks where you're going to have a lot of opportunities and other weeks where you're not going to have any. For the most part, with my experience, again, this was very limited because I didn't like acting on camera for that long. I did find that I was able to essentially fill out my schedule as much as I wanted to. But again, with that personality type, I just wasn't able to do 20 hours a week because it would have driven me insane. It would have probably changed me into having that personality all the time, which would have probably scared my wife. Another one of the benefits of VIPKids is that you are helping students. These are kids who want to be taught. They want to learn English. The parents are really pushing them for them to be able to learn English. And so you're actually making a big difference in the world, which is, for me at least, something very important. But again, this isn't something that's different from Outschool, and I'm going to get into that in a minute. So it is something good, but it's not necessarily better than Outschool. And again, I want to get into that in a minute. Now I want to get into the negatives of VIPKid. The first one is the teaching hours are awful. If you want to be teaching, you basically have to give up early in the morning, 3 a.m. to 7 a.m., or you have to give up your nights, 9 p.m. to 1 a.m., because that's when it's daytime in China. And of course, the kids in China want to take classes during the day. No kid is going to take classes at 2 a.m. their time so that you can teach them at 4 o'clock p.m. your time. There's just not going to be that flexibility with the schedule. So you have to teach really terrible, awful hours, which could be a plus in the sense that it lets you work a daytime job. But I'm not sure you could find the energy to do VIPKids as well, especially with the energy they are asking for. But if you're able to do that, at least there is that flexibility. Another huge negative is the base rate is flat. It's $20 an hour. It can go up based off experience, but you're not going to get, $30, $40, $50 per hour like you can get in Outschool, but it is consistent. If people aren't signing up for your classes in Outschool, you might have to end up teaching classes for $5, $6 per hour. I personally haven't ever had to do that, but I've heard a lot of experiences from other teachers who have. And so at least VIPKids does give you that. But again, it is very limited to $20 per hour. Another huge negative is that you need a bachelor's. Now, I can see the importance of this, especially when you're trying to teach kids English, but it is something that Outschool doesn't require, which I guess you can twist it to be a positive or negative because at least as a parent that your students are taking classes from someone who has the college education, as opposed to Outschool. You have no idea what the experience is outside of what their bio says, which may or may not always be true. So again, VIPKids isn't bad. I think it has its niche. It has its group that's really, really good for, those people who want to teach at 10 o'clock p.m. to earn those $20, $40 extra dollars every single night, who have have a ton of energy and they just want that consistent income. They don't want to have to worry about creating their own classes. They just follow a curriculum that's already provided for them. If that's you, VIPKids is for you. If you are like me though, I want you to hear this next part about Outschool. Outschool is great because it gives you the flexibility to have classes whenever you want to. When I say whenever, I mean literally whenever you want to. If I want a class at 3 o'clock a.m. and I can somehow get students to sign up for that, absolutely go for it. I have found that the best time for me to teach is between 11 and 2 p.m. Eastern, because that's just when you got kids on the East Coast up, kids on the West Coast up, everybody's awake, and they're more likely to be taking classes that time. I have taught as late as 4 p.m. Eastern and still been able to fill up classes, but the nice spot seems to be, that mid to early afternoon when everybody in the whole country's up and they're not in the middle of their day already doing things. Another thing with Outschool is you get to create your own curriculum. When I say your own curriculum, I mean literally anything. I've created a video on this already. I'll leave it in the description. Check it out if you want to. It goes more into depth on that. But if you want to create a video on Legos, do it on Legos. If you want to create a video on how to like and subscribe to this channel, you can do that as well. Anything you want to create your class around, you can do that. You do have to come up with the curriculum yourself, which can be a pain, especially when you have to have the class reviewed by an Outschool expert, and then they come back to you and tell you to make adjustments. But it is your class. You essentially decide when you're going to have it, how often you're going to have it, how long it's going to be, and what you're going to teach, which are great things if you know how to put a class together. Another huge plus with Outschool is that you get to set how much money you make. Now, you can't put it too high or else people aren't going to sign up for your classes. But if you want to make $100 per hour, it's actually very, very doable. I'd say about 70% of my classes, I end up making about $75 to $100 per hour, when my max has been about $120 per hour. And that's with me being one of the relatively more inexpensive teachers. I found that I have more success when I'm a little bit less expensive, because I actually end up making more because more people sign up than if I'm more expensive and have less signups. The last positive thing I really want to put out for Outschool is that it gives you the freedom to teach how you want. So for me, I teach sort of like how I am on camera. Every once in a while, I'll kind of throw a joke in there. I'm pretty relaxed and laid back, but I'm myself. I don't have to put on a fake face. I don't have to do any acting. Now, obviously, there are some mornings I wake up, I'm just not in the mood. So, of course, I have to act like I'm happier than I actually am. But as far as the being overly happy and waving and doing hand signals, I don't have to do that. In fact, I teach a YouTube course that actually features part of this video that you're watching right now, and it's part of my Outschool class. So this is actually the tone that I teach with, and it's really helpful because it makes me more comfortable, but it also lets the students know that I'm human and not just some robot that's trying to tell them how to, trying to teach them how to learn English. Another huge plus, and again, this is for teachers, is that you don't need any background in education. You don't need to have a bachelor's degree. You don't need to have any education, in fact, to teach an Outschool. If you're able to present yourself as a valid teacher with a good curriculum and a good message, and you're able to do that and get good reviews, you can join Outschool and be successful with zero education, post high school education. That is something my wife has done. She's actually working on her bachelor's degree still, and she has found a lot of success. She's got a 5-star average, and she's brought in quite a bit of money as well to help her household. And she couldn't do that with VIPKids because she doesn't have her bachelor's degree yet. As far as negatives go with Outschool, there are a couple. The first is, as I mentioned before, if you don't get signups, you don't make money. Just because you put in availability and you have a class there doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to fill up that class. And you have to make that decision as to whether or not you want to have 1 or 2 students and make $12 an hour, or if you want to postpone the class and hopefully fill it up later. I tend to postpone the classes, and then normally they do fill up. Most of the time when these classes don't fill up, it's normally because I've scheduled 2 of the same class together or 2 close together. The second negative, and this can be a positive if you do it the right way, is reviews. I've also created a video on how to get awesome reviews. Check that out in the link as well. But if you get negative reviews, that's pretty much a death sentence. That's pretty much the nail in the coffin to your time on Outschool. If you have anything below a 4.5-star average, you're going to be in serious trouble with trying to get people to join because everybody has 4-star or above. I've been lucky enough to keep a 5-star average with over 135 reviews. So that's been helpful for me and has helped me to actually grow my brand. But for people who get the 1 or 2 stars, that can kill you very quickly. And so it doesn't matter how good of a teacher you may be. You get 1 or 2 1-stars and you're essentially going to have to basically give classes away for free just to get good reviews, just to get back to the point where you can start to make money. Besides that, though, I don't really have any negatives about Outschool. I don't see any potential issues with it other than if you really struggle with creating a class. But again, these are working with kids, so you don't have to make them super elaborate. You just have to get the point across. And then when you're actually teaching it, I would practice, of course, but it's really nothing that's overly difficult. If you're able to create your own curriculum, you're able to have 10 times more success on Outschool than VIPKids, and you get to do it on your own time. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. It helps me to be able to roll out content. It helps more people like you to be able to find this video and help to make this tough decision between VIPKids and Outschool. So again, if you're still trying to figure it out, maybe sign up for both and then find out what's best for you. But this video has been my own opinion and why I think Outschool is better. But again, VIPKids definitely does have its niche. It does have its purpose, does have its benefits. I just think the Outschool outweighs it by a lot.